Hey toy fans, I'm D21 Beast and welcome back to my figure review series here on my YouTube channel. And today we are once again taking a look at those great little minifigures from Diamond Select and Art Asylum, Minimates. We have Yukon Wolverine and Ninja Yukio from the Wolverine movie. Now I know you're looking at this review and thinking, man, it's 2014. Didn't that movie come out like a year ago or longer? Well guys, I was actually strolling through my local Toys R Us recently and they had a bunch of stuff on sale and I was just picking through, seeing what was there, and to my surprise and to my pleasure, they actually had some Minimates from the Wolverine, and I unfortunately missed them the first time around, so I was really glad to see some of these guys hanging around. I really liked the look of Yukon Wolverine, so instantly I wanted to pick up this set. And as luck would have it, because it's so old, it only cost me 60 cents, so how about that? So I can't wait to get these guys out of the box. Let's go ahead and start by taking a look at the packaging. As we come down the front of the box, what you're going to see is the logo for the Wolverine movie, as well as a picture of Hugh Jackman. You got the Minimates logo there on the left, and you see Yukon Wolverine and Ninja Yukio inside this window box packaging. There's also a sticker for Toys R Us showing this is exclusive to that store, and finally the logo for Marvel there in the center. Flipping this box around now, what you're going to see is the logo for Diamond Select and Art Asylum towards the top. You've got the logo for Marvel and the logo for Minimates as you move down the box. And then you've got a complete list of all the characters available in this wave. And at the bottom left of this box, you've got the bio for Yukon Wolverine. Go ahead and pause now to read this. And on the right, you've got the bio for Ninja Yukio. Pause now to read this. Alright guys, well that's the packaging. Let's get these little guys out of the box and see what they're all about. Alright toy fans, we've got these Minimates out of the box, and ask yourself, have you ever seen a gruffer, meaner, angrier little minifigure in all your years? I don't think so. Let's take a look at some of the paintwork and the sculpting on this guy. As far as the face is concerned, I kind of sort of see some Hugh Jackman, but as I say, with these minifigures, these Minimates rather, you always get a pass on actor likenesses, but I do think they did a good job of kind of evoking the look of Hugh Jackman. And I like the way that they've done the beard and the furrowed eyebrows and really get the cheekbones on this figure. I think it looks really good. I'm also a big fan of the hair sculpt on this minifigure. It's got all the strands of hair in there. There's no paint detailing or anything, but it's just a nice little hair sculpt. And as we come down the figure, we do have his sort of wintry coat that he was wearing at the beginning of the film. And we've got some sculpting detail here on the lapel. As we flip him around, he does actually have a hood, which is a nice touch. Inside, he's just got this hoodie. As you can see there, it does have the hoodie pouch there, and you can kind of see the start of a hood coming off the top. As we come down the figure, he's got his jeans here, and they do have some print work that shows typical jean markings you would expect to see. He of course has some claws sculpted on his hand, and coming down he just has these black shoes, and of course peg holes in the bottom of his feet for those display stands these guys always come with. And let's go ahead and move over to the Yukio figure. Now the box describes this Yukio as Ninja Yukio, but if you watch the movie, what you really know this as is the funeral Yukio. She wore this outfit when they were mourning the loss of Mr. Yoshida about halfway through the film. I do like the hair sculpt on this Yukio figure. It's got some nice line work in there and just some nice sculpting all around. The face is actually an okay representation, I think, of Ryla Fukushima. I mean, again, with these Minimates figures you get a bit of a pass, but I kind of feel like I see it a little bit in the cheekbones, so a bit of a nice touch there. And as we come down the figure, you just see this ceremonial, I'm going to call it a kimono, and I hope I'm not wrong, but this ceremonial kimono, and it's got some little print work there, and there's even a bit of sculpting here on the train or the trail coming off around the waist, and notice the arms even have kind of droopy sleeves, which is a nice touch. And mostly this figure is black when you look at the color work here. I really like how this figure looks. Both of these figures, in fact, I think are great representations and really iconic looks for these characters from the film The Wolverine. So a great job there by Art Asylum and Diamond Select. Moving on to the accessories for these minifigures, we can see that both of these guys come with the display bases that are pretty typical now for Minimates figures. Each display base is a round, clear disc that has a peg in the center there, and it's pretty easy to just grab a minifigure and go ahead and plug them on, and you can basically pose them in any position you want, and they'll stay on that base no problem. So I'm glad that these guys include these bases, as all the Minimates figures have been lately. Now, looking at Wolverine, we see that he does have a set of interchangeable hands, which is nice, and it's pretty easy to go ahead and just unplug these hands and put on these hands, so if you don't want his claws out, they don't have to be out. Another thing that's pretty cool about this Wolverine that's not immediately apparent is what they've done with his outfit. If I pull off his hair and his head here, I can actually kind of slide off the trench coat piece or the winter coat piece, and they've done print work on what appears to be a brown sweater. So you can just go ahead and put the head back on this Wolverine figure, there we go, and just get this hair back on. And you've got sort of a dressed down version of Hugh Jackman Wolverine. Now I don't know that we ever saw him with just a sweater on in the movie, but I really do like that you aren't forced to have this coat on if you don't want it on. So props to Art Asylum and Diamond Select for thinking of that. The other accessory that I want to mention this 2-pack comes with is the sword, Tanzen. And this is meant to be Yukio's accessory, and it is of course the sword that Yukio presents to Logan at the beginning of the Wolverine movie. And as she said so eloquently in that movie, Tanzen means separator, or to separate head and limb from body. So it's really cool to see this accessory included with this 2-pack. I think it's a great little accessory. It's got some nice sculpt work on it. As we take a look at it here, you can see that it does have some actual sculpting detail on the handle there that kind of indicates some tape or some wraps on the handle. It's got that on both sides. And then it's just got a nice blade here that's been painted silver on black plastic. So excellent accessory to include with this 2-pack. Moving on to articulation now, I want to remind you that these minifigures, these Minimates, have identical articulation along the line. So starting with Wolverine here, we're going to see that he does have a head that turns a full 360 degrees. And his head is on a ball peg, so he can basically rock his head around freely in pretty much any direction, which is nice. He's got a 360 degree rotation at the shoulder. He's got a single jointed elbow. He's got a wrist rotation that does turn 360 degrees. He's got the same articulation on the other side here. Let me get his hair straightened away here. It's starting to bother me a little bit. He does have a waist rotation that turns 360 degrees. He also has a leg joint, or leg hip joint rather, that'll move forward this far and move back that far. He's got a single jointed knee that moves back that far and forward that far. And finally, he does have a 360 degree rotation at the ankle. So a great range of motion on such tiny little figures. Taking a look at the height, we can see that Wolverine and Yukio do stand at just over 2 inches tall. For some size comparison, here we have Minimates Wolverine and Yukio compared to Rocket Raccoon from the Guardians of the Galaxy line, and compared to Star-Lord from the Guardians of the Galaxy line, and compared to Groot from the Guardians of the Galaxy line. And of course, we have to compare these guys to Wolverine from the Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Minimate line. Wait a minute. And this is exactly why these Minimates figures can be so entertaining. Bub took my hair. Alright, toy fans, well that's my review of Yukon Wolverine and Ninja Yukio from the Wolverine movie, the Minimates line, by Art Asylum and Diamond Select, released in 2013. And overall, I'm very happy with this Minimate set. I'm glad I got it for such a bargain. And, you know, I've only got one minor quibble about the set, and I would say, given the pairing of these figures, it would have been nice to see the Yukio that was actually in Canada in that particular outfit with the red and white sleeves versus the funeral Yukio. It just would have been nice to have sort of like the two characters from the beginning of the film versus two characters from different parts of the film that were never on screen in these same outfits. But that's a minor quibble. Both of these figures are really nice, and I do encourage you guys to run out and pick them up if you can find them. On the secondary market, they're not going for too bad of a price, so you can probably pick them up there, but it's going to be hard to find them in stores, I think, at this point. Well, that's my review, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to rate, share, and subscribe. Also, be sure to hit me up on Twitter at D21Beast. I'd love to talk to you guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time, bub.